Hello, hello, and Jambo from the Masai Mara of Kenya. A very warm welcome to our sunrise safari. I am in the Masai Mara of Kenya. I'm joined on camera by my big friend, a big cinema photographer, one Big James. And we are opening our sunrise safari with a topi. And you had an ostrich a few seconds ago. Well, my name is David. And on camera this morning with me is Big James.
Oh, how special. Look at the tusks on her. So everybody, water provision in the greater Kruger and around is probably one of the most controversial sort of topics. But the reality is water was put in many of these reserves and in the Kruger itself a long time ago. And there are fences. So they need to be managed. Animals need water provision. Otherwise, there's a concern to their livelihood. So with spring comes the promise of the spring-summer rains. Many of the dry pans and puddles and seasonal water holes dry. And with the rains, they'll be filled with life again.
Well, we have been able to catch up with our topi boys from the drama we had yesterday. What used to be a hippo has remained in the same position. He was brought down, and as I said, by virtue of him being a very, very heavy prey, these lions could not reposition or move it to any other place. A really good question, and you're asking if this hippo was ill. I would think so, because as I'm saying, if you would have looked on the left eye of this hippo, it had blood coming out really, and I think it had a big wound. It could have been fought by other bulls elsewhere, and Lily also, he was an old bull, and with a combination of being old, maybe not feeding very well, I also found out he had lost his teeth, especially the canine teeth. He couldn't fight anybody back. With those three factors, he didn't have a chance of, fighting off the topi boys. He just stood there. And I was like, 1 minute. He must be going to have a drink somewhere, having a few pounds or many pounds of that hippo. 2 nights ago, they had another kill they had brought down, and it's time, I was telling James last night, we want to believe what has been said, that they're opportunists.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the quick turnaround there, but we just found this group of lions walking through the open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count 9. Baboons are not happy. I can hear them shouting. Going directly where we've just come from. Good morning, ladies. You're excited, Anna Marie, to see the Black Dam Pride. Well, they just come out for us there. Driving along the road. So that's 9 plus this boy. And I counted the little ones. Although they're grown, it's hard to say which are the littlest ones now. Oh, here he comes. The king. Here comes the king. Oh, splendid. I think this is, if I recall, Nyala Road, Hyena Road. I'll have to double check my map. I do still remember a fair amount of my navigation here. Just don't always remember the name of the roads. Don't worry, that's not to affect any of you, everybody. It's just for documenting the movements. Hyena Road, BC. For us, it is exactly how they've been designed. The tawny cats, they can hide in the summer grass because there's enough of it. But it's all about this grass. The autumn grass. Oh, are you going to challenge Dad? Are you just looking at him proudly? Oh, look at you, father of mine. You magnificent fellow. Now, on our drive down this road, there were lots of giraffe tracks. Lots of giraffe tracks up and down this little way here. Well, everybody knows that this pride enjoys themselves. Some giraffe, look at that. Look at that behavior. That submissive behavior. But I'm going to sniff you though. You're my dad. But I'm just going to go move over here. I'm not going to get too close. Magnificent.
We should have a lot of rain over the weekend, but it's just beginning now. But it hasn't deterred these three boys from lying out in the open here. They haven't really moved. The odd stretch, the odd yawn, a little bit of a rollover every now and then, but otherwise pretty stationary. It's still nice to sit with them, and I just keep marveling at the way they've digested all of that food. It's incredible. And they're about 400 or 500 meters away from where they made the Kuru kill itself. There's always a chance they might go back to it and have a bit of a munch once more. I can't say that there's any that have been extremely out of the ordinary. I think I'll probably never forget the 2 male coalition that I tracked and found in Damaraland, just because of the habitat that they live in, real harsh conditions, and also I really had to work for them, and using my skills in tracking, it actually took me about a day and a half to find them. I picked up some tracks when we walked into camp. It was part of my treks that I would run. We would do 120 kilometers in 7 days.
Well, we've got our hippo here in this dam in front of Jacis, and said hippo had a couple of or has had a run-in with someone, not too sure who and where, but it's got a nasty wound or gash on it. And this is what happens when hippos fight. I mean, they've got these massive teeth on them, and these teeth can inflict damage, some serious damage to each other. Well, I'm sure they're going to come back, but they had some Red Bull oxpeckers picking at it. And one of the reasons why there aren't any oxpeckers on it now is because he keeps lowering himself into the water, so the oxpeckers almost have no platform to stand on, so they're forced to fly back up into the tree. But I'm sure they'll come back. And this is where oxpeckers become a bit of a nuisance, is when they start picking at open wounds. They feed off obviously the flies and the insects that are around the wound and the scabs, but then they feed on the blood, and they feed on sometimes the flesh within the wound. Yeah, Nancy, that is a rather deep wound, but like I said, it's small enough to not be such a big problem for said hippo. The only thing he's really got to worry about is the fact that it could well get infected, and I think, this water that he's in. I mean, should there be maybe more hippos in it? Could be a different story. Should there be no fish in it? The fact that there are fish in here and the fish are surviving means that there is some form of cleanliness to it. It doesn't look like it's clean, but there is some form of cleanliness to it. Fish won't be able to survive in toxic water or in water that's not too clean. Otherwise, they will end up dying.
Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the Sunset Safari, where we're coming to you live from the Amakhala Game Reserve down in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. My name is Ralph Kirsten. On that camera there, shooting behind it, is Morgan Mulholland, and that is his thumb. Welcome aboard the greatest and largest game drive in the world.
Large troop of baboon out in the open like this to film them. Unfortunately, everybody, with their enormously adaptable behavior, they adapt very well to human conditions, to croplands, to human habitation, to human waste, and tend to become a problem due to the fact that people don't manage waste properly. It's just a very well adapted animal with very strong social bonds and hierarchies. And so to see them out in the open, surviving how they should survive, is always fascinating. Rhino, I think it's quite common. I wouldn't say it's more common than... Batalia just landed right in the drainage here. Panda, we'll go and check it out just now. I think it's probably less common than natural birth happens, survival. But, you don't find dead animals. I've found a handful of stillborn impala in my life. But when animals die out here, you don't find them. They get cleaned up, Batalia just landed. Vultures land very quickly, so you're not going to really find these animals. I think it's a natural thing across the mammal species. There's challenges with childbirth. There's challenges with the seasonality, the condition of the female, genetic issues. These things happen. I don't think anyone's to blame. I think heat stress can be a big thing. A number of the stillbirths that I've seen were a few years ago with impala, that the rains just hadn't come yet, and there was almost like the females just couldn't anymore. Baby baboon can get exposed to a cold night. There's illness. They might be born still. They might actually die of something quite early on. It's hard to say. I don't have any statistics for you, I'm afraid. Yes, exactly, Alka. We all coexist. The elephant walked through and the baboons all just moved out of the way. It's the natural order of things. The biggest always get made way for. Without anything, just a bit of a look. A need for aggression. Right, I'm hoping something's going to kick off amongst these baboons shortly. Going to be some little outcry of someone messing with someone, and then one of the dominant males is going to come in and sort it out. It can be quite comical to witness.
Well, here we have a fish eagle, which is in amongst some rather dead trees. Obviously, dead trees in the Sabi Sand they never go unused. They're always used by something, whether it's a bird of prey sitting at the very top of it, scouring the surroundings, or animals nesting within them like hornbills, barbets, and rollers, and many more other birds. But for the time being, it is being utilized by this African fish eagle. Julie B, you say you really enjoy its calls. I also do enjoy the calls of a fish eagle. They are rather special, and I've always had, I think, this amazement by the amount of obviously respect that other birds have for this fish eagle, especially in estuaries where there's lots of herons, green shanks, sandpipers, and others. You know, when a fish eagle takes to the sky, you will find that there will be a lot of other birds flying around. And I suspect this is because when the fish eagle can't catch any fish, the next best thing is an unsuspected bird on the side of the river or of the dam or whatever body of water it is. But we're going to send you over to David, who has made his way or found himself some buffalo.
Such an eclectic collection of features might, on paper at least, sound positively monstrous, but on the aardvark, the overall effect is somehow oddly winsome. Of course, as is usually the case in nature, form follows function, and the aardvark's unusual attributes are all perfectly suited to nights spent terrorizing ants and termites before sleeping off a full belly in the safety of a comfortable underground den. Even the name aardvark is inspired by their excavation skills and subterranean habits, coming from an old Afrikaans word meaning earth or ground pig. And the genus name, the difficult one to say, Orycteropus, translates as the burrowing foot. I wonder if we should quickly loop around. There is a road running there, and we could get quite a lot closer to him. What do you reckon, Morgan? Let's do it. Yeah, because there's a road a lot closer there. So just hang on with me as we zoot around. Hopefully not falling in one of his holes. Just around the corner, and this seems to be the area that he's always been seen. We saw him on the next little plain. So Alka, he's not very high off the ground, but he might be the sort of height of a basset hound and probably as heavy as well. So I would liken him, he's quite thick set. Maybe in weight he could be very similar to that of a basset. Now, if we come through quietly here, slowly, we might get very close to him. I'm going to try and sneak right up on him. Could get some beautiful close-ups here. This could be fantastic. Look at that. You can't get much closer than that. And now we can see him up close and personal. How fabulous.
Well, Water is life. Not sure Steve would like saying water is the currency of life. So one water hole to another water hole, there's a possibility of seeing some sort of life in terms of wildlife. Well, where I am, I'm still by the Mara River, and one side we had the hippos. That's what water is all about. And James just turned his camera, and there we are with the largest mammal we have on land, and that is the savannah, the African elephant. Seems to be a pretty small family of a mother and two calves, possibly. And see how dark they look after the storm we had an hour or so ago. So all the dust they had was washed down by the rain. And that's what we're left seeing. The tusks, interesting, just at the very tip of them, look white. The other part look like either soiled or covered by mud. The youngster in front possibly could be under 2 years. Deja vu, your week is done. And same case for us here, and many thanks for joining us. Ellis, Deja vu, not sure you know, the James's favorite animals to film. So we were earlier watching small little hippo babies playing on the bank of the river. That baby's also listening to me and going to play, or you're going to suckle. And I was waiting for the director to come and link to us to show the baby hippos. James told me, remember, my favorite animals are elephants. And very quickly, he swung the camera to the Ellis, and I kept quiet. I didn't talk of the hippo babies anymore. She tried to catch up with the mother, and maybe along the way, she found something she may taste and eat. I have decided to do something different from Eric and do a bit of birding. And I got an eagle there. The light from where I am is not very good. James is doing the best he can to help me identify that eagle. And I would want either to be told it's what I'm thinking or I'm wrong. And to me it seems like to be an immature martial eagle. Please, just turn away the other side. I got a feeling it's an immature martial eagle. I request all of you viewers, if you've got a better viewer or rather better view than me, let's all agree or disagree whether this is an immature martial eagle or not. Fully grown, they are the largest eagles we got in Africa. Pretty strong. Most for the females. They have been known to hunt, lion cubs. The last I saw had hunted a almost fully grown female Thompson gazelle. Very strong talons, very strong muscles once they lift their prey. And if not dead, they'll always perch on top of trees to subdue them. Looks like a nice picture frame there, on that she faced the other way. But from the small little crest behind her head, I think this is a mature eagle, an immature one. resonated. You're saying possibly you agree with me. It could be immature martial eagle. I think it is, and thank you for supporting me. I wasn't very sure because the light wasn't very good, and not sure why she left that tree, went to another tree. Not sure she went to catch something or she just wanted to warm up by having a short flight. And what she did, apparently there are two of them now. Oh yeah. There are two of them on that tree. And there could be just two immatures. There could be two immature eagles, two immature martial eagles there. But not sure one flies away. And the one that has been left there looks a bit different from the one on top. It's not facing us because it looks a little bit like a bat lure, an immature bat lure. But the one on top is definitely a juvenile martial eagle. But I would wonder what could be the relationship between the two. The one below has a hooked beak. Honey Badger, you're wondering whether any of the migratory birds have started to arrive yet. I would think we may have another a month or so, maybe towards, say, mid-October. We should see lots of Eurasian birds coming around this area, but not as yet that I have noticed or can see. And honey badger, those ones will be coming when we start getting the short trains. This is all brown and very different from the first. So the lighting is not very good from where I am. Blending in on that dead tree. But in the meantime, let's try to find out who that could be. Let's go to Rolf, who is off the vehicle.
It's now or never if we find some animals. Oh, there goes a hare. It's dashed off into the bushes. But perfect timing. But it was just that. No. But interesting afternoon. Good afternoon, I think. Hoping for a little more activity, more energy to tomorrow morning. We shall see. Who knows? Who knows? A lot happens at nighttime. A lot can happen at nighttime. Animals move all over the place. It's nice and cool, and I think, you know, they, especially animals like leopards, lions, not just them as well, elephants, buffalo, giraffe, the works. Animals sleep a whole lot less than what we think they actually do at nighttime, because it's so dangerous, and especially in an area like such, one has to be rather careful about the predators. But yeah, hoping that everyone has enjoyed the sunset safari as much as we have enjoyed being out here, and I hope that you will all join us tomorrow morning as we head out for the sunrise safari at 6 o'clock. And now, like I said, hoping for more energy, more animal energy, maybe some elephants as well. But until then, enjoy the rest of your lovely Thursday evening, and we shall see you all tomorrow morning. Goodbye for now.